Two, one. Welcome back. It's probably the first time that y'all seen me by myself on the Spea Your Truth Podcast for real people, real conversation. And I've been meaning to do this for a while now, honestly, because you know, ever since I started this, I always go back to this story. Ever since I started this, I've been thinking about, people ask me or people ask me what your podcast is about, or or what do you talk about in your podcast, And at first, I always say, it was just something that I felt like was for me and my guys, talk about what's going on in the world or whatever, some topics and stuff. But after really, it's been 2 years since that, and I've been really taking time to think about, what that really means. Like, what is my podcast about, or what can my podcast be about? Because speak your truth, like I always wanted this to be for a platform for people to come on and talk about what they got going on, promote themselves, brag a little bit, because I want to see everybody around me in my area, I just want to spread the love. I want to see people win. I want people to talk about why they're winning or why they're going through whatever they're going through. Because I feel like, especially here in this area, I don't feel like people have really had that platform or that outlet to, to allow themselves to do that. And, obviously I'm trying to change that. I can't do it all by myself or, whatever, but, that's part of like what goes into this podcast, because of course, shout out to the guys, KK43, shout out Goni, shout out Lash, shout out Zay for all coming, shout out Michael for all being on the show. And I love these episodes. I love the episodes. I love the interviews. It's just now, like, for an episode like this specifically, like I've been, even this one, I've been wanting to, bring on some of the guys, that I've, spent some time with these last 2 years with AT, X, Day, and even a guy that I'm not too familiar with, his name's Shamari. I'm gonna bring him on the show at some point because he talks about mental health and all these type of things that we need to talk about as a black community and as black men if we get down to the point. And I'm kind of what this episode is kind of a little bit for, just for me to just kind of put myself out there because past year, even closer than that, last few months, I've done some pretty celebratory things that people would think that okay, like, you have a reason to be excited, you have a reason to be happy, you have a reason for all this. You want a championship, you graduated, and while yes, like on the surface, those things are exciting, those things are, should be celebrated, but people never want to go into or they never really understand the mental health aspect of it, the emotional aspect of it, like how do you really feel as all this is going on? How do you feel as you're going through, these accomplishments, right? These last 2 years specifically, we talk about COVID and everything and how that kind of, reshaped our lives, and it just helped me realize that you really had to go through some dirt to get to the diamonds, and it's crazy, like. This past year, like I said, we won a championship. But it was probably the worst I felt emotionally. It was a drag, a drain on me. But I love basketball. People that know me know how much I love basketball, and it's just like damn, like you won a championship, man. I know, like I can't, like you should be up. Like yeah, I'm really proud. Shout out to all the guys on the team. We won that. But just within that though, like really, how do I feel? Like this is, like I said, it's probably this is a championship that I've wanted. I people that know me, I've talked about it for 2 years, and to get it, like it feels good to graduate college, something that I'm first in my family to do. It feels good, yeah. But how I'm feeling, like the things that I go through. That's why I do this podcast too. To really sit down and explain, like not even explain, just to share my experiences and my going through the dirt to try to find a way to these diamonds, because sometimes people might get it confused that now that I'm on a camera with some decent production. Shout out to JDW, shout out to Jaden, J Photos, but I'm still going through some dirt for real, man. Like it's not the life that people may assume that it is. This past season, like for like as much as I told you guys, I love basketball, like what I was, how I really feel, like it got to a point where I was ready to quit. I was really ready to give up on this, like, and that's where it comes, and come with going within that journey or within that grind, you know, like I said, going through that dirt, sometimes you gotta, you know, redirect yourself to get out of that dirt, to find a different path and some diamonds, right? Because that's where this podcast kind of came from. You know, me going through some dirt. I was injured my freshman year. Was on a boot, had surgery for the first time, and it's just like nobody want to talk about that. I never talked about it. Nobody's not nobody wants to talk about it. I didn't talk about it because I never want to make excuses for whatever I got going on. Like that's just within myself. Like I'm gonna keep grinding, I'm gonna keep pushing because I gotta find a way. But you know, with it, like just going through some dirt and realizing that I have a voice, I can utilize it, and you know, I can talk about sometimes some of these, you know, more uncomfortable things that, you know, people don't necessarily always tap into because we're always so surface level. But we gotta go past the surface, get to that dirt, you know, because going through that dirt brought me this podcast, or not even brought me this podcast, it inspired this podcast. It gave me something to really talk about, to make people realize, okay, like he's not just on here talking about whatever, X, Y, Z. Like, this is deep, this is real. I haven't even gotten this real with y'all. Going to some dirt to get some diamonds, like, I don't even have diamonds still. Like, I see it. Like, I'm still out here every day doing the same things to really grind and figure out how I can get to these diamonds. So that's another reason why I'm out here. Like, I haven't made that all the way. I'm not successful, quote unquote, but, like, I'm happy within myself and what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to accomplish for my people and for me, you know? Like I said before, like, within this path, like sometimes you're working, you're within something that's bigger than yourself. As it's supposed to be. Because sometimes what you have within yourself is huge, and it's bigger for other people to consume. I kind of miss that. I kind of miss the fact that I've seen the true business of basketball. I've seen the true business of how academics work and all this stuff, and it's just like, damn, like I don't feel like this is for me. Like this is not built for me. I don't win that way. And you know, another reason for this podcast is the autonomy that I have within myself to allow myself to talk about it. Because I'm a person that have a voice for people that don't necessarily feel that they might have a voice to talk about these certain things. Right? You gotta go through some dirt to the diamonds, and you know, going through that dirt, I mentioned a little bit earlier, you gotta redirect yourself. You gotta redirect yourself, man. Redirect yourself to find that purpose, because we're all here for a purpose, whether you like it or not. We all have a purpose here. And sometimes we get caught up in a purpose, like, you know, with myself, like I wanted to achieve so many things in basketball. And, you know, I still wish I can, I still wish I do, but like I don't, obviously the way certain things are lined up, the way things are set up, I can't do it anymore. And I personally I'm choosing not to. Because how can I, like, why should I trust, why do I feel like I should trust, you know, another environment that I feel like is always gonna be working against me? It's a business at the end of the day. We can talk about that. I'm going to talk about that on this podcast. The deep roots of business of basketball, like in sports in general. What have you done for me lately? Anyway, I mean, it's just so much, man, that I can really tap into. But it's just redirecting myself, and it brought me to this podcast because when I first the grind and energy that I was putting into basketball, I saw that it was mentally draining me because I wasn't getting the fruits that I felt like I deserved. Or school, same thing, fruits that I haven't deserved, and that's why people, you know, whenever they talk to me about these my accomplishments with the championship and graduating, like, you know, yeah, like it's great, but like, how special is it for real? Like, to me, like it wasn't. I mean, I love it. I love that I did it. But the true specialness behind it, it's not there. Because I from something being bigger than myself, I kind of lost, you know, not a sense of purpose, but, you know, I had to redirect my purpose, like I've been saying. Like, I had to redirect my purpose to something like this for me to create a platform and an outlet for people to come on to and be able to talk about themselves, what they got going on, brag, you know. Because I want to see people around me win. I've always been that type of player. I've been that type of team player, where I want to see people around me win. Like, it's never been, I know things are bigger than myself. Why not create something just as big as that to match it, so that people can come in and, you know, utilize and speak their truth. I'm speaking my truth right now. And I really, up until this point, yes, I've spoken truth. I've talked about love. I've talked about perception being reality. But I haven't spoken my truth for real. And that's what I wanted to do this for, because like I've said, people have been asking me all the time, what's your podcast about? Can't wait to whatever. Like, and I never felt the substance until like something like right now that I felt like I needed to do for this podcast. Because I'm still going through that dirt. I'm still redirecting myself, trying to figure out that right purpose for myself, but I found it within this. I found a purpose within this, and I love it. But like, you gotta go through some dirt to get to them diamonds, man. And it's just like that. Stuff you see on the surface, how do you think people got to that surface? How do you think flowers blossom? They start in the dirt, and they grow up to be beautiful, man. So, I love y'all, man. I really do. I really love y'all. But this is my challenge to y'all. Like, redirect yourself and find your purpose. Or figure out what purpose it is that is meant for you. Because sometimes the purpose you believe is for you isn't for you, or it's working against you. You have the autonomy to do that. Figure it out. What's your purpose, man? Go through that dirt. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. I've never been afraid to get my hands dirty. Literally. Like, actually, literally working in dirt. Shout out to Coach Zola. Did it all the time, man. Never scared, never afraid, man. That's how you gotta move out here. These podcasts, that's this part of what I want to separate myself about. Like, I'm 22, man. But, I'm just talking about going to some dirt because I got a whole lot of life ahead of me, man. And it's a whole lot of life ahead of the people I know that's watching this right now, too. So, redirect yourself, man. Go through some dirt because you'll never know where the diamond's going to lead to or where the diamond's going to be at. But keep on digging, keep on crawling, do whatever you got to do through that dirt to get to that diamond. And it's just like that, man. I love y'all. Stay tuned. We got basketball tournament coming up. Beanville, Burtonsville Classic, August 6th. Tap in. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Zay. Shout out to Cam. Shout out to Solo. Guys, helping organize this tournament for August 6th, man. We are going to be litty on Burtonsville that day. Stay tuned for details and all that, how that's going to go down. But it's a lot of love and peace in this room, man. I want to end it right here just like that. Just like that.